a young guy named Kamil Bachouchi. You might have seen him on social media. He's a fourth-year philosophy student over at the University of Wilfrid Laurier in Kitchener, Ontario, where he's been creatively opposing their ongoing mask mandates. Yeah, really, they do have ongoing mask mandates at some post-secondary institution. But I don't want to tell Cam's story. I want Cam to tell us his story. So let's bring him on.
Hello, bonjour.
Hey, hello, how are you?
I'm good. Thank you so much for having me. Really appreciate it.
So welcome to our show. And yes, like Daniel just said, can you tell us a little bit more about you and also what is the environment at your university right now?
Yeah. You covered most of the introduction. Thank you. Thank you very much. My name is Kamil Bachouchi. I'm a fourth-year student at Wilfrid Laurier. I guess that to give you a little backstory, this all started in 2021 September, when my school informed the students that refused to show proof of vaccination that they would essentially be kicked out of school without a full refund of their tuition money. So yeah, I was not exactly willing to provide that kind of personal information. I didn't think that they were privy to my personal medical information, or anyone else's for that matter, whether it be students or staff. So I guess I got the boot. I took it with a little bit of class. I tried not to cause too much of a scene, but coming back to school, like it was my last year too, so I should be in law school right now. But nonetheless, I decided to make better use of my time, try and focus on other things, since I wasn't able to go to school anywhere in Ontario. I wasn't allowed to fly out of Canada. I was stuck here. So I had a little bit of a bone to pick, I guess, with Laurier coming back to school this semester, this past fall semester, where I thought everything was going to be back to normal. Society seemed fine. Relatively, right? Over the summer. And Laurier didn't have any mask mandates or anything like that going in over the summer during their in-person teaching during those 4 months. So I was expecting everything to be a little bit back to normal. I quickly found out that actually a couple days before the semester started that there was going to be a mask mandate in place.
But you just said that you didn't, at the university, didn't have any mask mandate before that. During the big COVID hysteria, they didn't have any mask mandate. And now after all that, when, the virus is not deadly for the big majority of the population, they are putting forward a mask mandate. And they starting that last September. That's what you're saying?
Yeah. I mean, not only few people in the population, but I mean, especially not the student populace, right? I mean, I would argue we're the youngest and the healthiest people, or at least adults in society. I don't think that we pose a risk to each other or to ourselves. So it is an interesting rule to have in place. But yeah, I was just as shocked as you are right now, right? To think that we were over the hump, seemingly, just for them to throw this right back in our faces.
Excellent. So we've been following you for a little while now, Kamil. But can you explain to our viewers how you've started standing up to this ridiculous mandate?
Yeah. So I had, interestingly enough, there's teachers at Laurier. We'll to give a rough number, about half that do respect the personal autonomy of the students. They do not want to treat us like 6-year-olds or like kindergartners. They do respect the fact that they are instructing a class full of adults, right? So, I mean, I'm a young adult, but I've never gone up to someone and told them to do anything, especially not with their bodies, or not to put something on their face, right? So there are, I would say, small majority of teachers that respect the students' personal autonomy in that sense. So they're not out to tell these adults what to do. And I was lucky enough to be taking 5 classes last semester, and 4 of my teachers, first day of school, they asked me to put the mask on. I respectfully said no, I wasn't comfortable doing that. And that was the end of it. It didn't need to get, hostile, didn't need to get into a fight. It was simple. I had one teacher that that decided to forcefully suggest that we wear the masks. I mean, I don't want to call it a request, but it was under the threat of being physically removed from class by campus security and kicked out of the class. I mean, taken out of unenrolled from the class, as well as facing disciplinary measures with the Board of Laurier themselves, because this is their instruction, right? The teachers are doing the bidding on behalf of Laurier, which is my big issue with the school and the administrators there. So I put the mask on, like this for a few classes, and then finally I snapped. I was like, I'd never really put the mask on, whether it be public transit. I just didn't, we'll save my reasons for another time, but I never really put the mask on. So it was honestly, it was tough for me to do this. And after 2 weeks, maybe I got sick and tired of it. So, and obviously I'd been conjuring up some ideas on how I could get around the mandate without getting kicked out of school. Like I said, I'm in my last year. I just want to get out of there.
That's a nice challenge.
Yeah. I mean, I wish more people were getting creative like that. I think it would have gone a long way, at least with regards to not only the provincial government, but with the federal government too. I mean, if they see people mocking their ridiculous mandates, not only the ones that infringe our own personal freedoms, but the ones that, aren't necessarily going along the science, they're going along the narrative that we're seeing. And I think it would have been interesting to see, a few 100,000 people wearing silly masks, but yeah, I've been thinking up, okay, what can I possibly do? And I guess I decided that I was going to stop wearing the mask. And I read the rule that Laurier had issued to us, which was medical or non-medical 2-layer mask. It is really ridiculous. So my first mask was a Ziploc bag that I'd folded up and then, used some phone charging cables as the ear holes. And yeah, maybe my teacher was not happy about that. And it progressed to grapefruit, to lettuce, to whatever I can think of that morning, really. And yeah, it's been.
Which one was the most comfortable?
I honestly, that one right there, that one was horrible. I could barely breathe. That was, but I would say the grapefruit. The grapefruit was it smelled good. It was easy to put on. It didn't move. It was perfect.
Oh my God! Yeah, this is the one. Yeah.
At least the military grade face mask is probably effective at keeping out COVID, right. Even if it's uncomfortable.
And that's the thing, right? If and you can see in the background, people are wearing cloth masks. And that was the first comment my teacher made when I wore the Ziploc. She was like, "You're not wearing a real mask." I was like, "Who are you to define what a real mask is?" Right? I'm following the guidelines that the school set in place. She was like, "No, Kamil, go get a real mask." And I was being respectful, honestly. I told her, "Look, professor, with all due respect, I'm not going to go do that. Just because you don't like my mask, that doesn't mean that I'm breaking any rules. So respectfully, I'm going to keep this mask on because I'm allegedly protecting the public safety or the safety and the health of my fellow my peers here." And she was like, but there's air coming out of the side of your masks. I was like, I looked around. I was like, there's air coming out of your mask, everyone's masks. My mask is no different. Just because you can see my mouth, that doesn't mean that I'm not covering my face. And eventually her appeal was always fallacious, but it went from an appeal to authority to an appeal to emotion. So it was like, "Oh, Kamil, please, like, I really appreciate it." And I said, "Okay, well, you know what? You don't respect me. I'm not going to respect you in this instance. I have with all the." Ironically, I was saying all this. The first words in my sentence was "with all due respect" every time when I was telling her that I wasn't going to do what she's asking. But yeah, I mean, it progressed. It got more attention than I could have ever imagined. I mean, I'm sitting here with someone I'm a big fan of. So yeah, I mean, it's been incredible, and I know it's shined a big light on the school themselves. They're not too happy. I mean, they've tried to re-educate me in the face covering policy. But when you make a stupid rule, you have to expect that it's going to get broken, or at least
Yeah,
Yeah.
play stupid
toy
games,
it.
win stupid prizes, right?
Exactly.
So how has it been received by like your other teachers,
Or your
students?
friends, or
Yeah,
your
exactly.
or your friends.
Are you losing friends? Are you
No,
getting harassed on campus? Like, what's the story there?
my friends, they've gotten used to me. They know what to expect nowadays.
So
So
they're real friends. That's great.
exactly. No, yeah. I mean, I don't think I could have done this without my friends. Like I love them. I love them so much. Like I know it's for life with these guys, and we
Did
go a
did,
long way back.
did other people follow you on that and try other kind of a mask?
In that class, I had one buddy who wore like a Santa mask near the end of the semester. Would wear, I mean, a Santa hat as his mask, and the teacher wasn't too happy with that. And I had a few students that wanted it from that, and it was a small class. It was a 20-person, one of those third years, smaller classes, and they wanted to full on, not necessarily protest, but show up without the mask and refuse to put it on. And I talked to them and I told them, look, like, this is what you are risking by doing that, because this teacher, I mean, she was a fanatic. She was truly, and I don't know where this comes from, but it might be fear, it might be ideology. Honestly, I don't know. We never had these deep conversations. It was a little more hostile than that. But she would not have put up with that. So I told my buddies, I was like, look, there's no point showing up without a mask and sitting there. And I would join you, but it's not going to amount to anything, because we're going to get kicked out and nobody's going to be able to speak out and try and I don't want to say convince the other students, but in a sense, we need to raise a bit of awareness towards this nonsense, right? Honestly, I don't forget about the science. I'm not a doctor. I'm thinking strictly from a libertarian perspective, which is, I mean, I'm young, obviously, but that would be my political ideology, 100%. Which is why I respect the heck out of you guys, man. I mean, what you guys do, and you stand up for Canadians' rights and freedoms, and that's fundamentally, I think that's the biggest issue with this. It's the fact that we are treated like not only like kindergartners, but like they are our parents, that they can tell us what to put on our faces. And so I think students at Laurier and other schools that have to deal with this, because it's not just Laurier, they need to stand up and they really need to start speaking out, because this isn't about now. It's about down the road. What is the next thing they're going to do to undermine our basic rights here? I mean, I don't think it's a lot to ask not to put something on my face.
Yeah, I like the way that you managed, that stupid regulation, because there's a risk for you as a student, and you want to go on, you want to have your diploma, but at the same time also you want to show to them that what they're asking is crazy, and you did the right thing by pushing the envelope, and and I think that was the right decision. So right now you're still in the class and you're able to have your course, and and you'll be able to have your exam and go through that. But also you made a point and you are making a point. So I'm always saying, you must have the courage of your conviction. You are a nice example of that, and I want to thank you for that. Congratulations. That's tough. And I understand Daniel told me that you may do a protest or something like that in the near future.
Yeah. So Students Against Mandates, a group that I'm a part of. I encourage everyone to check it out. I joined in a bit late. I mean, I guess you could say I got recruited after they saw what I was doing at Laurier. And they do awesome work. I mean, we interview different experts, and I mean, Monsieur Bernier, we would love to have you on in case you ever wanted to come on. But we interview different experts on doctors, lawyers, different media personalities, people that really know what's going on with regards to these, not only these mandates, but with the science behind the mandates. We hold protests at different university cities across Canada. It's not just in Ontario. So Students Against Mandates is an awesome group, and we're having a protest at Waterloo Town Square, which is, I guess, the de facto public square in the city of Waterloo. And we're going to be gathering on February 4th, Saturday, so a week and a bit. And if anyone's in the region or not too far away, we encourage you to come on down and show some support, because I think the way to get around this is, or to have the school drop these mandates, which is the goal, really. I mean, I didn't start this just to, get Twitter likes. I want these mandates dropped, right? It's unacceptable that this is still going on. They need to see that it's not just one guy and a few thousand Twitter followers. It's, there's community members, students, professors that are all against this educational, I don't want to call it tyranny, but I mean, I don't think it can get much closer.
Yeah. And it's too bad because I have something on my agenda that day, but if I'm available, I'll try to be at that protest, but it will be very difficult. And, I'll be open to do an interview with you at any time. But yes, the fight must go on, and the common sense will prevail. And it's something that, they are still asking for a mask mandate in university right now, when the new variant is very, very not dangerous for you guys. So,
yeah.
And it's a crazy world.
Right.
It's complete nonsense. We're gonna have to wrap this up now, Cam. I'll reach out to you, get you something set up with you and this guy on with Students Against Masks. It'd be great to talk to you guys. Thanks so much for joining us today, Cam. It's great to see brave young people standing up and getting involved. And we really shouldn't forget how powerful of a tool comedy can be. I think you've brought in a lot of awareness just by doing silly things and being open about it.
Yeah. Thank you, and keep up the good work. And if you have other ideas to how to protest and win that debate, don't hesitate. Be yourself and fight that fight. We are with you 100%.
Thank you
Any
guys
final
so
things
much.
you'd like to say to our viewers?
Check out Students Against Mandates. Keep fighting. Stand up for your rights. I mean, it's in this country, it's one of the few things we can claim is our fundamental rights. So speak up. Use your freedom of speech, and don't let people scare you out of thinking that you're on the right side here. Seriously.
Excellent. Thanks so much for joining us, Cam.
Thanks for having me.
Thank
guys.
you again.
Appreciate it.
Cheers.
A courageous guy. I hope I'll be able to meet him in person.
I'm sure we'll set something up soon. Courageous young guy. It's nice to see young people getting involved and getting active.